Tim McVeigh was the first person charged with the crime of the use of a weapon of mass destruction. I've read the complaint filed, and I suspect, and it's just my opinion from a great distance, that the government has pled a case within the confines of the statute. The statute requires, among other things, an adverse impact on interstate commerce and public safety, and certainly the Boston Marathon has an impact on interstate commerce, if nothing else, the tens of millions of dollars spent in hotels and restaurants and so forth. So I suspect that a facial challenge, that is just on the face of the complaint, will survive scrutiny. Now, whether they can expand that for an indictment remains to be seen. He's charged with a criminal complaint today. That means that the government must have a preliminary hearing within 30 days or take the case to the grand jury. In Mr. McVeigh's case, the government had the preliminary hearing and then went to the grand jury, and the indictment wasn't returned for 4 months. Preliminary hearings are not that difficult for the government, and my guess is he will have the preliminary hearing, which will usually consist of one FBI agent and one not really knowledgeable with the case, so his testimony isn't really that helpful to the defense. I would be surprised if the government pushes for an early indictment. I think the indictment would come when they know if there are others abroad, when they have more details about the offense. I'd be very surprised that an indictment is returned within 30 days. He's fortunate to have the federal public defender. Federal public defenders are certainly way above average in competence, experience, and professionalism. They have significant resources available that a private attorney would not. And I expect that the federal public defenders will take their job seriously. They assisted me significantly when I was Mr. McVeigh's lawyer. The public defender in Oklahoma disqualified because her office was damaged by the bombing. That's not the case in Boston. So he has a good defense team, and it'll be interesting to watch. I think any defense attorney in the Boston case will be under a lot of media scrutiny, public scrutiny, and certainly it will be a personal, challenging experience. I mean, it's a professional challenge, but I can well imagine, having lived through it myself, what he or she or a group of them will face in defending a client that is quickly being made by the media into the most hated man in America.